Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, then welcome. And if you don't want to miss out on weekly pick a card readings, don't forget to subscribe. Today's pick a card reading is for those of you who are still, feeling emotionally connected to somebody that you were with, who is currently with somebody else. And in fact, I actually had no intention of doing a video like this, but it came to me strongly after doing my how they see you, what's going on with this connection video. And I was like, okay, if this is in the air and a lot of people are wondering about somebody who's with somebody, then I'll do it. So if you don't have anybody like that, then feel free to click on another video. Or if you just want to listen, just to listen, that's fine too. Okay, in front of me, I have 3 different options, each with a different number. Choose the one that really calls out to you. If you need more time, you can pause the video, and if you know which one you want, you can go to the timestamp down below. Okay, let's get started. Hey, group number 1. Okay, so what does your person feel for them versus you? Okay, so your person, you guys aren't going to want to hear this, but I'm going to give it to you how I see it. So they do view their current person highly, like the Empress. And yes, I do feel like they viewed you guys highly as well, like the Empress. Honestly, this person is repeating a lot of the same stuff with this person that they did with you. Okay, so it's not exactly original. It's just how this person operates is what I'm getting, okay? So, they do view them as attractive, being good for them, just like they viewed you guys, okay? Do feel like that their relationship in particular started off physical, okay? So it was definitely based off attraction. It was it kind of has honestly like this fling feel to it. It's way more shallow than what your guys' relationship felt like, okay? And they might have even met out, or they met, through an app where they swiped on this person. It's like one of the 2 feels. So it could have been through a friend, could have been out, just something to do with being out, or they met up with this person, being out, okay? And I feel like, they view this person as being social, lively, knowing a lot of people. They might even have had mutual friends with this person. I'm just getting like kind of a community feel between them, dynamic wise. Whereas I feel like you guys, some of you might have had mutual friends with this person, but like I'm getting more so like you both kind of came from different worlds more so, okay? So there's more of a commonality, like something that this person has in common with this person. And I'm not saying in regards to, them making a better match or so. It definitely started off more physical than your guys' relationship is what I'm seeing. And I feel like, but then it started to develop into something more. Like once they started to see, oh, okay, this person's actually got good qualities to them. And then it became something more is what I'm seeing here. But here's what's interesting. So as soon as this person starts catching feelings and thinking, oh, this is the new person that's my world, kind of like with you, they did the same thing, I feel. They have this interesting pattern I see, okay? They start to, once they catch feelings, they start to get kind of jealous, and then they start to notice things. And I feel like this person is, if they're not right now, they will be, where they're gonna feel kind of like, oh, jealous of their new current person and any attention they feel like they're getting, or any, signs of them shifting. Something like that is what I'm seeing. And then this fear is going to kick in, which if this person doesn't have like awareness to choose and react differently, I feel like this is going to sabotage this connection with this current person is what I'm seeing. Okay, so now about you guys. Actually, to take that even a step further, so what's interesting is once this person's fear kicks in, they kind of have a defense mechanism kick in where they're going to start to act like they're all that, and they could kind of take or leave the person, which in turn creates what they didn't want. And then this person acts like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And then it ends. And I feel like something similar happened with you guys and this person, because I see that, you know, it shows that things were going well. Well, it doesn't really show that with these cards, but I'm picking up on that energetically. And with the Zen Garden here, reversed, then we have the Whip, which means, yeah, you know, something harsh. There was a harshness to this, like and a 180 was, you know, experienced between you guys. And it's just kind of like you were like, who is this person, you know? And then the fairy tale was flipped, I feel. So something happened, your relationship, you know, there was a shift. I'm getting like an abrupt shift with this person. And yeah, you guys were left like, who is this person? And so they know that this breaking it off with you, you guys were hurt by this. Okay, it's definitely coming across. Like you took it hard. I feel like they did too. Like whether or not they showed it, you both experienced such heartbreak is what I'm seeing after this breakup. So they also, though, they see you guys as being the person, though, that really was a loving, caring person who was there for them. And I feel like, you know, if you're a woman, you were like nurturing and just real supportive and like a best friend and a lover type feeling. And if you were a guy, it was like you were protective, you were, you know, just like, I feel like you'd wrap your arms around this person. They felt completely safe and secure, and like basically like everything was right in their world. And then like you guys honestly came across as the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend, okay? But this person was not where you guys were at, like emotion, like they weren't as emotionally mature as you guys, is what I'm seeing. Okay, so yeah, so I feel like in return, like you guys might even cut off from them, even though you were still really emotionally connected, but they definitely feel now like a cut off from you is what I'm getting. Like they think like you want nothing to do with them, and like just like a real cut off. Whereas before I felt like you guys, you know, you were always in communication, you were very passionate people, and it's just it was a real loving connection, I feel. And now it's like they feel no love, no attention, nothing from you, okay? And understandably so, like given, you know, this person is with somebody now. So not only did it end, but they're with somebody. So I feel like they know that, you know, you guys were pretty devastated and heartbroken, and it was like that dream life, that fairy tale life got flipped, and that basically they think, you know, you've moved on, like whether you wanted to or not, they feel like you have, and kind of act like they don't exist anymore. But at the same time, this is really interesting. So at the same time, they feel like you're acting like they don't exist and you're not giving them any attention or anything. Like it's a very cut off energy feeling, but they still feel like somewhere deep down, like you still have love for them, you still have feelings for them, but they think you're kind of like just acting like you don't. And I actually feel like they think, and they thought when getting in a new relationship, that you guys might actually impulsively like message them, is what is coming through. So yeah, that's interesting. And I feel like, honestly, it's because this is how they're acting towards you. Like, they're acting like, yes, yeah, I've moved on. I don't have feelings for you anymore. But I feel like, again, just like they're projecting onto you, they do deep down. And they even sometimes contemplate, like, thinking, like, what if I did impulsively message them? Like, how would they respond, you know? Like, would anything come out of that? So, yeah, they do. They do feel that. So yeah, and you know what's interesting is even when they got with this person, their heart was still with you. And it's kind of like they felt like, well, you know, this person's physically attractive, so maybe that'll help me move on. And I feel like at first it honestly kind of emphasized, like, yeah, they were high from the newness, but like it honestly, I feel like made them miss you more because naturally, like, they were comparing this person to you, and you know, you guys were the original Empress or Emperor, and it just, they didn't compare, and then now it's kind of like they talked themselves into, and they're like, well, they're a good person, you know, like, they think. But then what's funny is, I feel like, and because, okay, this relationship started off more physical and shallow than your guys's, well, even if your guys's started off that way, I felt like it was deeper. Like, there's way more water going on in your group, that they're kind of like, it's also playing off their insecurity that this person might, you know, almost like they think they might mess around on them. So yeah, like, it's just heightening their fear that they already have. Like, it's a pattern for this person. So their outcome card is the Magician. Now what's interesting about that is, like, that honestly could go either way for this person, because yes, on one hand, the Magician is all about, like, manifesting your dreams, you know, and making that goal happen. But on the other hand, the Magician can also represent illusion and manipulation. So what came to me in regards to that is that this person, it's kind of a 50-50. Like, it could end up being successful if this person has awareness and actually changes this pattern that they have of sabotaging a relationship. But if not, then I see that it's going to end, you know. So yeah, I know. It's kind of an unclear ending. And as far as your guys' outcome goes, so even though, you know, they still think about you and wondering about you, it's like with the Two of Air here, it's a very undecided card. So you both, it's like with this person and with you, it's like 50-50. Like, so even if they were single right now or broke up with this person, they would still be like at a crossroads in regards to you. Like, they really don't know, like, is it over? Like, can we not repair this? Or could it work, you know? But yeah, so it's kind of like they're trying to make it work with this person, and they thought like their patterns would not be there with this new person, but it's kind of like they didn't work on themselves, so they're showing up again with this person. So yeah, time will tell, group number one, what ends up happening with this person, but this is what I see for you guys. So if this resonates, let me know in the comments, and if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Group number two. Okay, so how do they see them versus you? Okay, so when looking at the cards in how they feel and see their current person, I just gotta say that it's kind of like they took a gamble and lost. Okay, I'm just gonna call it like I see it, because with the Lovers reversed, okay, so this person might have, you know, I'm getting a few different things. So like, they might have known this person when they were with you, I don't, you know, and maybe thought, oh, you know, this person's a better match. That might be for some of you. And then for others of you, it just was the person after you, period. But either way, I'm seeing that this connection between them is falling flat, okay? Like, yeah, okay, so let me get into that. I feel like this person and your person and their current person is like they're mirroring each other, but it's not in a positive way. Okay, so yeah, something happened between your person and their person, because there's a definite disconnect with the Lovers reverse. So it's kind of like, so instead of these two like flying above this obstacle, it's kind of like, you know, with the transformation card reversed, they're kind of just stuck right now. Like, they're not sure which way to go and what to do is what I'm seeing. But at the same time, it's kind of like they're still like wanting to make this work. It's kind of like they've got this weirdly determined energy, that regardless, like, we're gonna push on forward, even if it's not the best thing for both of us to do. Like, it's kind of like that. There's like a stubbornness to this energy. Meanwhile, it's kind of like okay. The person that you're wondering about, they are like they keep themselves in fantasy land, I feel like, in order to cope, but it's kind of like putting their head in the sand is what I'm seeing. Like, they're not really dealing with what is in front of them. And it's kind of like, oh, everything's fine, like that type of thing, even when everything is like crashing all around them. That's the energy that's coming through, because something was revealed, okay? And they're like, it's possible that these two aren't compatible because they have opposing views that are like too big of a deal. You know what I mean? And it could even be like different religious, spiritual beliefs, something that's like a big deal to both of them, but that neither one are facing. So something was brought to their attention and it is a big deal, but it's kind of like they're just brushing it under the rug type feeling. That's what's coming through for this. All the while, it's making them like wonder about you. Okay. Yeah. But okay, so as far as you guys go now, it's kind of like one of you blocked the other, because I'm getting like a real cutoff feeling with the Page of Air reversed. So there isn't a whole lot of checking out each other's social media and, seeing what each other are up to. It's kind of like one of you's not able, is the impression I'm getting with that. Now, if, somebody is blocked, I feel like, well, they might be making a fake account and looking. I'm definitely getting that, because energetically you two are still connected. There's no doubt about that, okay? So there's still feeling there, I'm seeing, but it's like you guys are cut off, so to speak. One of you showed the other, okay? I'm just getting a real blocked feeling, but at the same time, that's not gonna stop the other, okay? And either way, you're both still wondering about each other. Okay, so they currently view you guys, though, as being shut off from them, okay? So they feel like, it's kind of like I'm getting this crossed arms feeling, like a very blocked off energy, a block from the heart chakra, just like they feel like no love coming from you guys. And I mean, understandably, right? You guys broke up and there was somebody, but at the same time, though, I feel like deep down, I feel like you still care, but you're not showing it, is what I'm getting. And in fact, they feel like you guys are acting like you're living your best life. Okay, I'm getting this real like celebratory, I'm doing me, I'm living life to the fullest. I've got a glow up going on, and I just feel like, kind of like a dancing in the night type magical energy going on with you guys. Just like real free feeling, real happy, real joyful. Whether or not you feel like that, like that's what I feel like you're trying to tap into. Maybe some of you have, but either way, I feel like it's goals, right? And either way, you're coming across like, yeah, I'm living my best life. Now, what's interesting about that is that doesn't quite make sense, because I do feel like somebody's blocked off from the other. So that tells me like somebody's still seeing something. So that's kind of like where the fake account feeling is coming from. So yeah, I would not be surprised. Somehow they're still able to see this. Okay, so on top of all that, the two most optimistic cards in tarot flew out as far as how they see you guys. The Sun and the Star card, okay? So yeah, their realization of how much you meant to them is coming full circle, okay? And that just hit me as I was looking at these two cards, because there's like these big circles behind these two, okay? So it's like, yeah, it's real symbolic, okay? With that sun-like energy is the most optimistic symbol of the tarot, and it's like, yes, okay, they feel like you were the sun in their life. You were the one, like literally that is what's like coming through strongly. So regardless of how they're appearing, this is not the relationship, okay? And if they're appearing on social media, like if somehow you're still able to see theirs, it's like, it doesn't matter how they're appearing, okay? This is like what's showing up. They definitely have a big obstacle that does not work for either one of them, that's been revealed, that they don't want to acknowledge. And yeah, all the while, I feel like they're looking at your stuff like, oh my gosh, they think like a part of them feels like you guys are done and you know you're living your best life without them, so that part is kind of also keeping them like in this determined, you know, I'm gonna make this work, I'm gonna appear like I'm making this work, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so yeah, they're coming across like, you know, this person they thought could have been the key to their heart, but I feel like their heart's still in the cage and it's honestly still beating for you. Real talk. Yeah, and all in all, I feel like this current relationship's just kind of toxic, really. Like that, on top of the obstacle, I feel like it's kind of loveless, to be honest. But it's like they're pushing through, although that card feels completely out of place. Like I don't feel like it's a soulmate connection. And yeah, okay, so all in all, I feel like it's got this childish pettiness to it. And it's like no one's the grown-up here in this dynamic. You know, these two are mirroring each other and they're not getting through. There's no transformation, there's no growth, and it's just like, again, like your person, they escape into fantasy land thinking, oh yeah, you know, well, everyone goes through this. This is fine, you know, that type of thing. Meanwhile, you know, we see that, yeah, you know, your happy home was flipped upside down when this ended. And okay, so with the owl card here, it's almost like I'm wondering if your person like lets somebody kind of come between you guys in a sense. So they might have like, you know, talk to others about anything going on in your relationship, and it kind of created a wedge because, you know, the person they were talking to could have sided with them and thought, oh, you know, there's just kind of a wedge feeling going on there. And along with that, yeah, you guys got the ring, so it's kind of like, you know, their heart and they're energetically still like committed to you guys, regardless of what's showing up. Now, what's interesting is I pulled 2 outcome cards, one for their current person and one for you guys. And for their current person, it's the Chariot reversed. So that tells me like when your person is feeling on top, they're like the Chariot. They're a very lively, driven, go-getter type of person. So kind of like a boss, a winner, you know, all that. And with it reversed, that tells me they feel like the complete opposite, okay? And in particular, what comes through about this is this person, you know, they feel kind of like they're not going anywhere and like their wheels are spinning off. It feels very chaotic, very out of control type feeling. I feel like this person does not feel like their best self. And it's kind of like they're going to come to the realization that, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter what I thought this could be fantasy-wise, you know, connection-wise, but like it's not. Like the Lovers is reversed, transformation reversed. Like they're not evolving, they're not growing, they're not going anywhere. It's very stagnant. It's very like kind of detrimental. Like they're not feeling their best at all. And I see nothing is changing, you know. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna last for long. And then with the High Priestess here, I feel like, you know, all this is gonna come to a head and they're both gonna see it, like it's not working. And then with you guys, the Wheel of Fortune came out. So I honestly got the feeling with this that they feel like you guys are destiny. Like, yeah, deep down. It's just like, how soon do they want to actually admit this to themselves, acknowledge it, and like do something about it? But yeah, group number 2, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments and what you make of all this. And if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Group number 3. Okay, so how does your person see their person versus you? Okay, group number 3. So right away, what I'm seeing is that your person and their person is kind of coming across as being like petty, okay? And I'm getting like kind of competitive and jealous. So I feel like their relationship has taken a real interesting turn. And I feel like this person is like a mirror for your person, but like not in a good way, okay? At least that's what's being portrayed here. I'm not saying like they didn't have good things that they mirrored, but that's what's coming through currently, okay? And on top of that, I'm getting like kind of like nobody is really putting in any work to like resolve any issues is what I'm getting. So I'm getting like a real stubborn type of energy. And what's interesting about that is that I feel like your person thought you guys were stubborn as well, but they didn't know stubborn until they met this new person. This person's got it like on a whole other level, okay? It's like super petty feeling. Kind of, it's an immature type of relationship is what I'm getting with that. So what used to be a happy relationship where they got along and things were going well just like took a flip, I feel, currently, but like they're still sticking it out. It's like they're getting something from this. Like it's strange, but yeah, that's what I'm getting. Okay, so along with that, I feel like this person just kind of like, it's kind of like they don't bring out the best of each other at all, okay? Because strength is reversed. So it's kind of like this person is having to deal with, you know, like their insecurities and whatever they didn't deal with you is what I'm seeing. So it's kind of interesting. I've been seeing that theme with these piles lately. Like, it's kind of like, you know, they think, oh, if I get in a new relationship, like, you know, things won't repeat themselves. This person's different. But no, it's like, you're still you know what I mean? Like, you meaning them. And you didn't deal with anything. So here they are again. But yeah, so I'm just getting that this person's feeling kind of low right now, and it's kind of making them reassess things. And on top of that, they're feeling real kind of aggravated and just like unsettled and just feeling like, yeah, I'm just getting like a real aggravated energy with the Hangman reversed right now. Just like they realize like, you know, things aren't going the way they thought. They really don't know anymore what to make of anything is what I'm getting with that. So it's kind of like they're in this like limbo energy with the Hangman and then the Three of Fire reversed. And I feel like, you know, them and their person, they have moments where like they have breakthroughs and like they're back to how they were, you know, but overall though, I'm just getting like, it's super easy for these two to get into it. Even if it's not like big time fighting, I'm just feeling like, you know, they go back and forth about silly things and they just both kind of trigger each other easily is what I'm getting. And you guys might have been the same way, but I feel like this person really triggers your person. Okay, so how they feel about and see you. They viewed you guys, they view you like the Queen of Air, okay? So intelligent, attractive, and, you know, like good with the words, good with conversations. You know yourself. You got this fierceness, but like a playfulness to you as well. But currently, though, they feel like the Queen of Air has been flipped. Okay, so they feel like you guys aren't quite feeling like yourselves. They know that you're hurt by this, and they know that you are like kind of cut off, and they're getting kind of a cold vibe from you, you know, and it makes sense. So yeah, and on top of that, they feel like, you know, where once you guys were like go-getters and blazing down your path and real passionate about life and just whatever it is that you guys were into, they feel like you kind of are like laying low right now, you know, maybe not posting as much, or maybe you guys aren't friends on social media. There's definitely this cutoffness though. So they kind of feel like they're in the dark about what you're up to, and they just overall, so they're kind of guessing. They feel like, you know, you're not really feeling it. You're not feeling anything. You're just kind of like, you're there, but you're not really broadcasting what it is you're up to. So it's a very hidden energy, you know, it's kind of like just, they have no clue type feeling. They just think you're just laying low, basically. But here's what's interesting though. Okay, so whereas once you guys were like these fierce, kind of like, you know, just like a fierceness to you. And they also felt like you guys kind of had your guard up with them. Here's what's interesting. So since all this happened, they feel like your guard actually is like coming down. Okay, so there's like this humbleness and vulnerability coming through as far as how they view you guys. So they think the breakup and them appearing with somebody else has humbled you guys. And they actually feel like, whereas once you guys were guarded with the Four of Earth reversed, I feel like they think, you know, you're actually like, it's hard to explain, but like opening up because you're in this more humble, vulnerable state, if that makes sense. So like I said, once where you came across as kind of like fierce and like guarded, is now you're coming across as being more humble and like possibly open, heart-wise. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. But that's what's coming through for that. So along with that, and I know this seems kind of contradictory because at one point I said you guys are coming across as being cold. That's initially, but here's what's interesting. It's kind of like they feel like, though, the cold is a front and it's your way of dealing. But they actually feel like deep down you're opening up, though, due to feeling humble and vulnerable. And that I'm actually getting, this is interesting, they feel like more of a heart connection with you. So maybe you guys, you know, there's some kind of interesting, energetic, emotional connection where maybe one of you hears a song and then the other, like, they just feel like they can feel your presence, you know, or maybe you guys are dreaming of each other. There's just a real interesting connection that maybe wasn't quite there before that is there between you guys now. And I'm seeing that that's kind of like why you guys are like checking this out. You're like, okay, what's going on? I still feel really connected to this person. And not only are we not together, but they're with somebody else. Like, no, okay, so this isn't in your head. They feel it too. And it's just like all really becoming clear the more that this person realizes how opposite them and their current person is, okay? So that's interesting. So on top of that, they do know, though, that you feel sad about this connection, you know, about this connection being cut off and you guys not being together and then being with somebody else. Okay, they pick up on that. And I honestly feel like they feel sad too. Like, I do feel like they wanted it to be you, but, you know, the way things ended, you guys went your separate ways. And then it was kind of like they felt like, well, I have to move on now, you know? Whereas I feel like you guys just kind of were like, you know, I feel like you would have waited for this person. Not that, you know, you want to wait, but it's like you are more in tune with energy, I feel. So you knew that the connection was still there. Whereas this person was more in denial and thought, like, the world thinks like, oh, well, I'm single, time to move on, you know, type thing. Okay, so looking at the connection even further with their current person, yeah, I feel like, you know, they started off more shallow. So it was definitely based off physical attraction and just kind of like, well, that's what's in front of me, you know, and then it kind of like developed along the way is what I'm getting. But there's also something going on with this person and their person and the timing just being off. So yeah, I just honestly, I get the impression that it's kind of like they're just, neither one of them were in it for a deep enough reason, and it's really coming across because they don't have that same heart connection. And it's kind of like this person's a passionate person. So, I mean, you know, yeah, they see someone attractive, they go for it. But at the same time, the passion is not being met in any other way, okay? And I feel like this person's just like bursting with wanting to be fully who they are, and they don't feel that with this person. Okay, so I'm just getting like some, like, just something that wants to be let out of a cage, basically, and roam free is the energy I'm getting with this person. And I feel like, you know, things are becoming clearer to them because things aren't going smooth at all. So that's interesting. Okay, so I definitely see, going further into your guys' connection, that, you know, things were rocky for you guys. Communicating felt like neither one of you were getting through to the other, and you felt like you were kind of caught in this maze, is what I'm seeing. And, you know, things ended, but at the same time, you still felt passionately and emotionally connected to each other. And I feel like, you know, you guys might have even saw each other after the breakup. I'm just getting this real, like, passionate reunion. And either way, whether you have or you haven't, I feel like you both have dreamt of what it would be like to just have this passionate reunion and see each other again and make things right. I'm getting that feeling. And, you know, I do feel like if you two did come back around, that it would definitely have this, like, friend vibe. And, you know, that's a real sweet vibe to have. So it's like, you two definitely don't view each other as friends, is what I'm seeing. But it would definitely be like, you know, a sweet rekindling of what once was, is what I'm getting. Okay, so I drew outcome cards for both of you. So for your person and their person, they got the Queen of Earth reversed. So that tells me that it's just basically, like I was saying, like, kind of feels like, ooh, just like it's like missing love, basically, is what I'm getting. And so I don't see it lasting overall. But it's odd because I don't know that any of them have an intention of breaking up anytime soon. Like, I honestly feel like they're kind of kidding themselves and they think, oh, you know, couples fight, like, it's fine. And it's kind of like, but you guys really don't, like, vibe. You know what I mean? You don't really compliment each other. You don't elevate each other. So I don't personally see anybody with any sense of awareness really keeping that going. Okay, so, but here's what's strange, okay? For your guys' outcome card, and I actually did this several times because I thought this doesn't make any sense, but this is what's coming through for whatever reason, okay? So maybe you're not completely meant to know why and just trust in the mystery and the unknown right now, but you two got for your outcome the Nine of Earth, which is like the most single card in the deck. Okay, that's like the most independent, I'm doing me, I want to be single. So I don't quite get that, except for because I honestly feel like this person's heart is definitely with you. So that honestly tells me that even if these two broke up, it's kind of like they would need to be alone before coming back to you. But I do see, though, and that could be for their own growth, their own reflection, their own, you know, awareness, and tapping into themselves and honestly healing. You know, a breakup, no matter how deep and, you know, real this was with this person, and even if it wasn't right, it's still a breakup. You know what I mean? So yeah, I see that, the single card, but honestly, guys, with the Two of Cups here and this opportunist card and the friend card, you know, maybe you guys, you will reconnect and it will start off as friends and then, you know, the talking again. So maybe at a more slower pace, but I do feel like you two do have the potential, though, to be something again. It just might not happen as quickly, is what I'm seeing with that. But it's all okay, you know? This person's gonna have to do what they have to do. That's best for them. Okay, group number 3, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what you make of this. And if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys.